The metal hallway was cold, silent, too silent. 4 alien soldiers dragged a man through the corridor. His hands were cuffed behind his back. His head hung low, his clothes torn and blood-stained. Yet, even in his broken state, something about him felt wrong. "Subject 87 secured," one soldier said, tapping the side of his helmet. "Human?" The captain asked, looking the prisoner up and down. "Appears to be. No resistance. Captured during the raid on Outpost Vega 9. The captain stepped forward. He studied the man's face. Human features, yes. Pale skin, short dark hair, dull. Gray eyes. He looked half-conscious. "What's your name?" The captain asked. The man didn't reply. He didn't even blink. The captain frowned. "Take him to interrogation chamber 6. Begin full scan, and search him thoroughly." The chamber was a dark metallic cube, lit only by a dull green light from the ceiling. The prisoner sat on a floating metal chair. Steel clamps locked his wrists and ankles. A black helmet slowly lowered from above and fixed itself around his head. "He's calm," one technician said, watching the monitor. "Heart rate stable, no fear, no aggression." The alien commander entered the room, arms behind his back. His skin was deep blue, his eyes black like ink. "No visible weapons," he said, "but humans are clever. They hide tech inside skin, bones, even the brain." "Begin internal scan," the technician nodded. "Initiating scan." Lines of data scrolled across the screen. The technician squinted. What is it? There's something odd. No implants, no chips. But there's interference. What kind? Unknown. His brain is rejecting the scan, like it's pushing back. Another soldier laughed from the corner. "Maybe he's just stupid." "Nothing to scan," but the technician shook his head. "No, that's not it. His neural activity. It's too clean, too perfect. No normal human brain looks like this." The commander stepped closer. "Is he enhanced?" "Maybe, or maybe something else." The lights flickered. Inside his mind, Elias Rain was awake. He sat in silence, in a black space filled with static. He felt the scan. He felt them trying to dig. But they were looking in the wrong place. His memories were buried deep. Too deep for their machines. He smiled slightly. "Let them try." Outside, the technician gasped. "Sir, we just lost connection." "What?" "The neural link. It's gone, like he shut us out." "That's not possible," the commander snapped. "It just happened. 1 second we were inside. And then it was like a door slammed shut." Another alien looked nervous. "Sir, we've scanned over 100 humans before. None of them ever blocked us." The commander walked up to Elias. The man's head was still down. His lips barely moved. "Stop." The commander froze. Did he just speak? "Repeat that," the technician said, voice trembling. Elias slowly raised his head. His eyes were dull, but deep, too deep. As if something else was looking through them. "Stop looking," he said. "You won't like what you find." Security was increased. 2 more guards stood outside Chamber 6. Inside, a second scan began, this time deeper, stronger. "We'll break through his neural wall," the tech said, "even if we burn his brain doing it." Green lasers scanned Elias's skull. Signals bounced through his cortex. Images started forming on the screen. "What's that?" the commander asked. The screen showed war. Earth cities burning. Human soldiers fighting alien beasts. But it wasn't a memory. The colors were wrong. The shapes distorted. "Is this a dream?" "No, I think it's a containment. A trap." Suddenly the screen went black. The technician screamed. His nose bled. His eyes rolled back. He collapsed. "Medic!" Someone yelled. But the others backed away in fear. What did he see? The commander shouted. The other tech whispered. He saw it. The lights flickered again. The temperature dropped. The commander turned to Elias. "What are you?" The Kuvio Kurosamfe. Man didn't answer. He didn't have to. Hours passed. 3 different scans failed. 2 technicians were injured. One started speaking in a dead language before collapsing. The ship's eye warned of psychic interference from Chamber 6. A council was held. Alien scientists, generals, and commanders gathered around the chamber. Maybe he's a spy, one said. Maybe he's infected, said another. Or cursed, whispered a third. Enough. The commander barked. He's just human. We've conquered Earth. This is one of their leftover rats. But rats don't break scanners. Then we cut him open, the commander said. Old-fashioned way. The surgical chamber was cold, bright, clean. Elias was placed on the table. Machines surrounded him. Robotic arms held blades and scanners. A surgeon stepped forward, holding a neural injector. I'll begin by probing his brain directly. He inserted the needle. Then everything stopped. The lights died. The machines froze. The ship trembled. Alarms blared. Power surge. No, it's him. Elias opened his eyes. He sat up slowly, though still tied down. Why don't you listen? He said. The surgeon backed away. He's not supposed to be awake. Stop looking, Elias whispered. Then the ship screamed, not the crew. The ship. Its walls trembled. Metal bent. Lights exploded. Something ancient had been awakened. The commander rushed to the bridge. Status, the eye spoke. We are compromised. By what? By him. He's just a man. No, the AI said. He is a vault. And something inside the vault is waking up. Back in the cell, Elias looked up. The helmet fell off. On its own, he stood. The cuffs unlocked without a touch. The guards raised their weapons. Stay down. But their hands shook. He took one step forward. Just one. The floor cracked. The lights turned red. A whisper echoed through the ship. Not from Elias. From everywhere. You opened the door. In the command room, panic spread. Evacuate Chamber 6. Seal it. Seal it now. Shut down power. But it was too late. Every camera feed turned black. Then one by one, they came back online, showing not Elias, but shadows behind him. Moving. Watching. Human. Alien. Something else. Lockdown initiated. I said. The commander turned to his crew. What did we bring aboard? No one answered. Then a voice came through the speakers. Elias's voice. You searched me for weapons, he said, and found something far worse. The hallway outside Chamber 6 was a war zone. Wires sparked. Walls had melted like wax. 2 alien guards were found unconscious, bleeding from the ears. One technician was shaking in a corner, mumbling nonsense. Inside the room, Elias Rain stood. Still, he didn't move. He didn't speak, but the ship did. Metal groaned. The walls pulsed. As if the entire ship was breathing. With him, Commander Virex stared at the scene from the control room. He had seen battles, monsters, warlords. But this was different. Why is he still alive? He shouted. I ordered lockdown. The AI answered coldly. Containment has failed. Subject 87 is beyond current technology. Recommend full mental interface shutdown. What does that mean? The AI paused. Do not enter his mind again. But it was too late. In Lab Room 3, a young alien technician named Kren disobeyed orders. He had lost a friend during the scan earlier. He wanted answers, revenge. I'll do a manual link, Kren said. No machines. Direct mind-to-mind sync. The older doctor shook his head. You're not trained for that. I don't care. He connected the cable to his skull port. The other end went into Elias's neural link. Don't do this. Someone warned. But Kren already pressed the button. Darkness. Then cold wind. Then eyes. Kren found himself standing in a black space. Empty, quiet, but not peaceful. He turned. Around Elias was there, but not as a man, as a shadow, a shape. Something tall and wide and wrong. Its eyes weren't eyes, just glowing voids. "This is my mind," the voice said. It wasn't angry, it was tired. Kren tried to speak. Couldn't. "You came looking for secrets," Elias said. "You brought your machines. You brought your questions. You were not ready." Kren took a step back. He tried to break the connection, but he was stuck. "You saw only a human," Elias said. "You didn't see the door behind him." Suddenly, behind the shadow Elias, a huge black gate appeared, covered in ancient symbols, pulsing with red light. "What's behind it?" Kren asked, finally able to speak. Elias turned his head slightly. "You don't want to know." Then the gate opened. In the real world, Kren screamed. Blood ran from his nose, his ears. His heart rate spiked. Then flatlined. "Disconnect him." The doctor yelled. Too late. Kren was gone. His body remained, but his mind didn't. "Commander." Varek slammed the table. "That's it. Kill the human now." The guards prepared their weapons, plasma rifles, acid launchers, sonic blades. Elias didn't move. As they entered the room, he lifted his head. The air thickened. One guard's gun bent in half. Another dropped to his knees, choking. "Why do you keep pushing?" Elias asked softly. One brave soldier fired. Bullets stopped mid-air, froze, then melted. Then turned into ash. The lights went black. Elias disappeared. Only his voice remained. "You are not the first to come here. You won't be the last." Deep inside the ship, the AI began to glitch. Its voice became unstable. System error. Mental feedback. Memory corruption detected. Initiating fail-safe. Double quotes. One of the bridge officers looked around. "What's happening?" The AI screens all showed the same thing. A single symbol. A circle. Inside a triangle, with fire on it. The alien scientist gasped. "That's human language. But it's old. Before Earth joined the network, pre-unification script." "What does it mean?" "It means ... prison." A high-ranking general joined the commander on the bridge. "We received a warning signal from another ship," he said. "The research vessel Ether 9. They encountered a being like this ... 5 cycles ago." "What happened?" "They disappeared. All of them." The commander growled. "So what now? Run?" "No," the general said. "We go into his mind, one more time with stronger minds. Trained ones. Are you insane?" "No, I'm prepared." 3 elite mentalists were brought in. Alien. Minds built for psychic warfare. They surrounded Elias. "Your mind is strong," the lead psychic said. "But we are trained to enter minds, twist them, break them." Elias simply closed his eyes. "Come in then," he said. Inside the mental plane, the psychic team appeared together. They stood in a long corridor. Old, dusty, like a forgotten library. "Where is he?" one asked. Then the books began to move. Each one opened. Each page showed memories. Not just of Elias, but of war. Death, worlds destroyed, time breaking, gods whispering. "This isn't a mind," the lead psychic said. "It's a collection." They tried to go deeper. Then they heard the sound. Whispers. From behind the walls. "You opened the door." They said, "You let it see." One of the mentalists screamed and vanished. Another one tried to run. The third shouted, "Get us out, get us out." Too late. All 3 collapsed in the real world. Brains burned, eyes white. Elias sat calmly. "I told you," he whispered. "You weren't ready." The commander had enough. "Prepare the cryostasis pod," he ordered. "We freeze him. Ship him to Blackstar 1 prison planet." The AI responded, hesitant. "Warning, subject may not survive cryostasis, or ... may survive too well. I don't care." Elias was moved to the deep core of the ship. Machines surrounded him. The chamber was made of black stone, found on a dead planet. Nothing escaped it. He stepped into the chamber. Calmly, they locked it, froze the air, shut down the light. Then the temperature dropped below zero. Elias's eyes closed. He froze. Finally, silence. For 5 minutes. Everything stayed quiet. Then a crack. Then another. The chamber walls began to move. The cryoglass cracked from the inside the pod. Elias smiled, still trying. He opened his eyes. The cryo mist vanished. He stepped out. Not cold. Not frozen. Not human. All across the ship. Gravity shifted. Time slowed. The AI shut down all systems. Emergency mode. Warning, it whispered. Host has broken cryo. Power rerouted. Memory logs failing. The commander stared at the screen. What is he? A voice came from behind him, not from speakers. From inside his own mind. He is what we buried. In a distant part of space. A hidden ship blinked into view, sleek, silent. Earth made. It watched. Inside. A woman sat at a console, human, eyes sharp. He woke up, she whispered. The computer spoke. Protocol echo breached. Project Origin is active. She leaned forward. Begin Phase 2. Back on the alien ship, the commander made a final call. Evacuate the ship, but sir, now. Elias walked the halls. Every door opened for him. The ship no longer belonged to its makers. It belonged to him. The stars outside the ship no longer felt distant. They felt alive. As if they were watching. Commander Varek stood alone on the bridge. His officers had either escaped, gone silent, or lost their minds. The AI's voice was fading. Warning. Systems compromised. Memory loss. Unknown presence in ship core. On the main screen, there was no sign of Elias. But he was somewhere. Walking. Waiting. Watching. 2 hours earlier. Far from the alien ship, a silent Earth-made stealth vessel hovered in deep space. It was sleek, black, and invisible to most sensors. Inside sat Dr. Lyra Miles, a former Earth Defense Intelligence scientist. She had been watching Elias reign for years. Since before he vanished from Earth. Now, she stared at a flashing red alert on her console. Echo Protocol Breach. Subject number 01 status. Awake. She didn't blink. He's awake, she whispered again. A robotic assistant next to her spoke. Softly, do you want to notify the UNX command? Lyra shook her head. No, they'll only panic. But no, this was always a possibility. She turned to her private log and began typing. Log entry, day 1963, Project Origin, they finally found him. Not Earth, not UNX. The aliens did, just as we feared. And now, the vault is open. Back on the alien ship, Elias moved like water. No footsteps. No sound. Doors opened before him. Lights flickered and dimmed. The walls seemed to breathe as he passed. He didn't need to run. They were all too scared to stop him now. In the backup command room, the last few alien officers held a quiet meeting. We can't kill him. Weapons don't work. Cryo failed. Psychic attack failed. One of them stood up. There's only one option. What? Mind prison. The others gasped. That tech was banned. It's unstable. It traps the enemy's mind. But also the users. I'll do it, the officer said. I have nothing left. They nodded slowly. It was suicide. But maybe it would buy them time. The officer entered the core. Chamber. Elias stood waiting. The officer raised the neural spike, a crystal-tipped weapon that didn't hurt the body. Only the brain. This is my choice, he whispered. I enter your mind. I lock you in. I stay with you. Forever. Elias tilted his head. You don't have to, he said calmly. But you will. The spike activated. A bright flash. And the world changed. Now they were inside Elias's mind, but not as before. This time, it was a city. Empty. Dark skies. No sun, buildings broken. Streets cracked. The officer looked around, stunned. What is this place? Elias appeared beside him. This is one of many prisons, he said. You chose to enter. I came to lock you down. Elias smiled, almost sadly. Then welcome to the cage. Suddenly the buildings moved. They grew taller, twisted, became towers of bone and fire. The ground broke apart. Shadows crawled out, not monsters. Memories. All of Elias's memories from Earth. From war, from the time before time, began to swarm around them. The officer dropped to his knees. This is not one mind. It's 1,000. Elias stepped back. You tried to trap me in a prison, he said. But this is the prison. I've been here for years. The officer screamed, then vanished. Back in the real world, his body turned to dust. Nothing remained. From the bridge, Commander Varex stared at the data feed. Everyone who touched Elias's mind was dead. Every weapon failed. Escape pods launched, but all were pulled back by some unknown gravity. Elias had full control of the ship, but far away in the stealth vessel. Dr. Lyra Miles worked quietly. She wasn't panicking. She had a plan. She brought up a file, marked the core. It was Elias's original brain scan from before. Everything changed. Before the war. Before the event that erased an entire city on Earth. With no weapon, no bond. Only him. Elias hadn't been born special. He had become special. Not through training. Not through tech. Through something older. Something buried under Earth's surface. A signal. A voice. Something calling to a few chosen minds. Lyra had seen the signs. Elias was the first. They called it the Vault Seed, and now it had grown. She activated a deep communication. Wave. Target. Elias Rain. The signal reached across space in seconds. Back on the alien ship, Elias paused. His head turned. A soft voice, Lyra's voice, echoed inside his thoughts. Elias, if you can hear me, listen. You're not alone. This isn't the end. Come home. Elias stood silently. The ship shook. But not from him. From something approaching. Commander Varex watched the radar. What is that? A large object appeared. Not a ship. Not a meteor. It was a cube. Black, silent, massive. It's not in our records. It just blinked into orbit. Then the AI returned. I recognize that structure. You do? Yes, it's from Earth. Earth doesn't build things like this. It's not built, the AI said. It's grown. The cube sent a signal to the ship. The screens all changed. Now, every display showed Elias's face, but behind him, another figure stood. Tall, cloaked, unknown. The message was clear. The vault is now open. Phase 2 begins. Dr. Lyra stood calmly on her ship. Her assistant trembled. What is Phase 2? She replied without emotion. Elias was never meant to be a weapon. He was the key. To what? To the thing we locked away under Earth 1,000 years ago. Before history. Back on the alien ship, Elias entered the main engine room. He touched the core with his bare hand. A pulse of black light spread through the ship. Systems died. The reactor stopped. Then reversed, creating not destruction, but a hole. Door. To somewhere else. The aliens who remained ran in fear. But there was nowhere to go. One by one, their minds shut down. Not killed, put to sleep. Elias looked up. He wasn't smiling. He looked almost sad. As if he remembered something. A time when he was still human. When he still had a name, not a code, not a number. Just Elias. Behind him, the black cube hovered closer. It began pulling the alien ship inside itself, piece by piece, not breaking it, just absorbing it. The ship's last message to space was a whisper. Don't look for him. Somewhere deep in space, the cube floated in silence. No lights, no engines, no sound. It wasn't a machine. It was alive. And it was old, older than stars. Older than memory. It had no name, but once, long ago, humans called it the Vault. And now it was waking up. Elias stood at the edge of the alien ship, looking into the black cube. He felt its pull, not just on his body, but on his mind. Thoughts came to him. Memories. Voices that weren't his. He didn't move, didn't fight. It because somewhere deep inside, he remembered. This is where it all began. Years ago, on Earth. Young Elias had been just another soldier, smart, loyal, curious. He had gone on a secret mission under an old mountain. No one knew what they were looking for, but what they found changed everything. A signal, a heartbeat. Under the rock. It called to him, and only to him. In the present, Dr. Lyra Miles sat inside her Earth stealth ship, watching everything unfold. The cube had pulled in the entire alien vessel, without breaking a single wall. Inside the cube, time didn't work the same. It bent. Slowed. Twisted. She spoke into her log. Vault awakening confirmed. Subject 01 has entered. Outer time distortion stable. No return expected. Unless he chooses it. Her assistant stared at her. You're not scared? Lyra paused. I'm terrified. But this is bigger than fear. Inside the vault, Elias walked through a dark hallway. The walls were not made of stone or metal. They were made of memory. Every step he took, images appeared on the walls. A city burning, a family crying, a child screaming, himself, lost, confused, breaking apart. Then, a voice echoed through the chamber. It wasn't loud, but it shook everything. You returned. Elias looked up. A figure stepped out of the dark. Tall, human-shaped, but glowing with white fire. Its face had no eyes, only light. You left the door open, the voice said. Now you must finish what was started. Back on Earth, global defense systems began to pick up strange readings. Satellites glitched. Radio. Signals carried a low humming sound, like a whisper at the edge of hearing. The same word, repeated. Awaken. A next high command gathered in silence. One general stood. This vault, is it real? He asked. Lyra's face appeared on screen. Her voice was calm. Yes. Is Elias under control? No. Then what do we do? She took a long breath. We wait. Inside the vault, Elias stepped forward. The light being walked beside him. You thought they captured you, it said. But you were never a prisoner. You carried us. In your mind. In your blood. Elias nodded slowly. He wasn't confused anymore. He remembered. The vault wasn't just a place. It was a seed, planted in him. Now growing. Why me? He asked. Because you listened, the voice said, when no one else could hear. They reached a door. Massive, black, covered in old human script. Elias touched it. Wave of light rushed through space. Every human across the galaxy felt it. A pulse in their heads. Some cried, some fainted, some whispered, he's back. In a secret lab on Mars, a scientist stared at her monitor. We just got a signal from Elias's DNA pattern. Another replied, he's alive? No, he's active. Inside the vault, the black door opened. Behind it was not another room. It was a sky, a floating world of broken moons, ancient machines, and rivers made of light. This is what we were hiding, the voice said. Not from others, from ourselves. You are not the weapon, Elias. You are the lock. Suddenly, the floor shook. A second presence entered the vault. Not human, not alien, something darker. The Payco. Vault trembled. They followed, the voice warned. The ones who feed. Elias felt it too. Something cold, hungry, something from the outside. They're here for the vault? Elias asked. No, said the voice. They're here for you. Back in open space, Lyra's ship lost all communication. Something's jamming us, her assistant said. No, Lyra replied. Something's watching us. The stars around them dimmed like eyes closing. Inside the vault, Elias looked. To the sky, black shapes flew above. Huge, fast, silent. Not ships, not animals, they had no faces. No sound, just endless hunger. The vault began to defend itself. Walls of energy rose. Shields formed, but it wouldn't last long. The dark things began tearing through. Elias looked at his hands. They began to glow. What's happening to me? You are waking up, the voice said. You are the last gatekeeper. Outside the vault, Earth prepared for war. Massive energy readings came from the black cube. The Onyx fleets were ordered to surround it, but nothing could enter. Time bent around the vault. No ship could touch it. Inside, the fight began. The dark things rushed toward Elias. He didn't run. He raised his hand. Light shot out. They screamed. The vault helped him. Responded to him. He wasn't alone. Not anymore. Every step he took, the vault grew stronger. It was waking with him. They were connected. One back in the alien galaxy. Survivors from the first ship sent out warnings. Do not touch the human, they begged. Do not approach the cube. But it was too late. Many ships were already lost, swallowed by light and shadow. Inside the vault, Elias reached the center. A throne floated above a lake of stars. Sit, said the voice. And what happens then? Elias asked. Everything changes. Elias sat. The vault responded. It breathed. Stars outside shifted. The black things screamed and burned. The door was now closed, but something else was open. Dr. Lyra's ship finally received a signal. Only one word. Awake, she smiled. It started. Her assistant asked, what do we do now? Lyra stared out into space. And said, we wait for the others. The vault had awakened. The stars around it shimmered like they were scared. Time itself bent near the black cube, making ships shake and disappear without sound. Inside, Elias sat on the throne at the vault's core, glowing, still, watching. He was not alone anymore. Far across space, in a forgotten corner of a dying galaxy, a signal echoed. It was old. A whisper coded into dark matter. No technology could read it, except for one. A man, or what was left of him, opened his eyes for the first time in centuries. He was in a chamber of stone and light. Machines had grown into his body. Wires pulsed like veins. He was called Varen. Kal. And he remembered Elias. They activated the vault, he whispered. It has begun. Back in the vault, Elias spoke aloud, though no one was in the room with him. They're coming, aren't they? The light being returned. Its voice was calm. Yes, not just enemies, but the others. Those who touched the vault before. Those who were changed. Like me, some worse. Some better, but none human anymore. Dr. Lyra Miles watched the stars shift around the vault from her stealth ship. Suddenly, her system pinged. Incoming signal, classified code project ASAC. She opened it. A single line of text appeared. The old ones move. We are not first, or our last. Lyra's face went pale. They're waking up too. Her assistant looked confused. Who? She closed the file. The others. Like Elias, long forgotten, buried. Some by us. Some by themselves. Inside the vault, the space around Elias changed again. Now it showed memories not his own. A burning world. Metal towers rising. People screaming. A man standing at the center, holding a black crystal. His face half human, half machine. The light being spoke. That was Varen. He was chosen once like you. But he took the vault's power and bent it. Elias watched the memory in silence. What happened to him? We erased him, or tried to, but echoes remain. Meanwhile, in the ruins of an ancient moon station, a woman stood in silence. Her eyes glowed. Her body was covered in tattoos that moved like smoke. She heard the vault signal too. Her name was Solace. She had once loved Elias. Before he changed, Now she had come to stop him or save him. She wasn't sure which. Back in space, Onyx fleets argued. "Attack the cube," one commander shouted. "No," another replied. "It's not attacking, it's just existing." "But it's too powerful to ignore." Dr. Lyra appeared on their screens. "If you attack the vault, it will defend itself." "Is that a threat?" "It's a fact." Inside the vault, Elias stood from the throne. He felt the others now, moving through space. Old warriors, forgotten friends. Lost enemies, they remembered the vault. They remembered him. He looked at the light being. "How many of us are left?" "5. You are the 4th to awaken." "And the 5th?" The light paused. "Unknown. Off-grid. Silent for centuries." "But they will come?" "They always do." Suddenly, the vault shimmered. A doorway opened. Elias stepped through. Now he stood in a chamber made of mirrors. Each mirror showed a different version of him. One was younger. One older. One had metal arms. One had eyes like stars. Elias stared at them all. "They're all me?" "They are possible versions of you," said the voice. "Paths you could take." One of the mirror Elias figures turned and spoke. "You think you're still human," it said. "But you passed that line long ago." Another voice joined. "They'll call you God. Then monster. Then God again." Elias backed away, but the mirror's shattered. Light exploded, and when it cleared, someone else stood in front of him. Not a copy, a real person, Varen. Khal stepped into the chamber. Half of his body was machine, half was burned flesh. His eyes glowed with red heat. "So," he said, "you're the new key." Elias stood tall. "And you're the old one." "I never gave it up," Varen growled. "They just sealed me away. You used the vault to destroy your own world." "I used it to try and fix it." Elias looked sad. "You failed," Varen smiled. "So will you." They didn't fight. Not yet, but the vault felt the tension. Energy pulsed through the walls. The light being warned. "Elias, do not let him reach the core again. He will overwrite it." Varen laughed. "It doesn't belong to you." Elsewhere, Solace entered orbit. She stared down at the black cube. She didn't need a scanner. She felt Elias inside, felt his pain. "His power." She whispered. "Don't let it take you." Then powered up her ship. And headed in. Inside the vault, alarms rang. A second gate had opened. Solace stepped through. Her eyes met Elias's, and for a moment, time stopped. He saw their past, their missions, their last goodbye, then her betrayal. She had tried to warn him once. Before he vanished, he had not listened, and now, here they were. Varen looked at both of them. "Well, the team's almost back together." Elias raised a hand. "You shouldn't be here." Solace stepped forward. "Neither should you." "I didn't ask for this," Elias said. "No one ever does," she replied. "But you opened the vault. I was chosen." "No," Varen growled. "You were built." The room shook again. Outside the vault, something massive moved. Not a ship. Not a creature. A field like space itself was changing shape. Onyx ships watched in horror. "What is that?" "It's folding light." Dr. Lyra gasped. "They're trying to collapse the vault timeline." Back inside, the vault's core began to flicker. If the timeline collapsed, Elias would be erased, or worse, duplicated into chaos. The vault systems began to lock down. "One gatekeeper must remain," the voice warned. "Only one." Elias looked at Solace. She shook her head. "I won't let you sacrifice yourself again." Varen raised his arms. "I will take the core." The energy built. The vault had one rule. Only one mind could hold the full memory. Whoever stayed would forget everything else. Elias stepped forward, but Solace reached for the core. Varen shouted. Energy blasted out. The vault screamed. Then light. And silence. When it cleared, only Elias stood. Alone. The room was dark. The core pulsed softly. He looked around. No sign of Verin. No sign of solace. Only whispers in the walls. He was still himself, but something had changed. He didn't remember their faces. Not clearly, just echoes. Outside the vault. The cube pulsed once, then dimmed. UNX scanners dropped to 0. The vault had gone back to sleep. For now. Dr. Lyra whispered to her log. Phase 2 complete. Elias retained. Verin and solace, unknown. But the vault lives, and it remembers. She closed the file and waited for Phase 3. The vault slept. Its outer surface was silent, dark, like stone floating in space. But inside, it dreamed. Dreams full of broken stars, lost voices, and forgotten memories. And in the center of it all sat Elias. Alone. Changed. He didn't remember her name anymore. The woman with the glowing tattoos. Her face came in flashes. Her voice was a blur. And Verin, the man of wires and scars, he too was fading from his thoughts. But the feelings remained. Pain. Regret. Something that felt like love. And war. The light being reappeared. You have done well, it said. Elias looked around. Did I win? There is no winning here. Only choosing. Elias touched his head. Why can't I remember them? Because you took the core. Vault protects you by removing what might break you. So I'm safe, for now. But far beyond the vault, in a dead system orbiting a red dwarf, something stirred. It was not alive. Not in the way humans understood. Was a machine. With a soul. Built long ago. Left behind by the first vault keepers. It was called the Echo Engine, and it had just received a signal. Elias, core holder, located. The machine blinked. And activated its crew. Metal arms. Digital minds. Old keepers. Once thought dead. They remembered, on Earth. Dr. Lyra stared at a black monitor. One word blinked on screen. Resonance detected. Her assistant leaned in. Another vault? Lyra shook her head. No, worse. What? Something that remembers what the vault forgot. Back inside the vault, Elias explored again. The halls changed as he walked, turning from metal to crystal to empty space. Saw shadows of people who no longer existed. Whispers filled the air. Don't trust it. She lied to you. You are not the first. He tried to shut them out, but the vault was him now. He couldn't escape it. Suddenly, a ripple passed through the walls. A ping like sonar. Elias paused. What was that? The light being hesitated. Another vault is responding. I thought there was only one. There was, until now. In the lab on Mars, old files began unlocking themselves. Buried archives. Failed vault tests. Human prototypes. One file stood out. Project Seedling. Memory replication of core subjects. It showed an image. Young boy. He looked like Elias, but it wasn't him. Lyra stared at the image in horror. He's not the only one. Inside the vault, Elias entered a room filled with floating memory crystals. Each one held a life. A moment. He picked one up. Suddenly, he saw through someone else's eyes. A battlefield. Ruins of a human colony. Flames and screams. He stood with a rifle. He wasn't Elias anymore. He was CASS in the real world, deep under an ice moon. A man woke up in a pod. He gasped for air. His eyes glowed faintly blue. He whispered, Elias. His hand burned with a strange mark, a vault seal. He was the first experiment. The first attempt to copy Elias, and now he remembered. Elias dropped the memory crystal. It shattered. The light being spoke. You accessed a banned path. Who was that? One of the others, made from you. Made by those who feared your power. Elias. Felt sick. You mean, I was cloned? No, you were mirrored. Copied into others. But none were stable. Until now. A new presence entered the vault. Different. Not dark like Verin. Not warm like solace. This one was cold. Precise.ca. And stepped into the chamber. He looked at Elias with curious eyes. "You're the original," he said. "You're the copy." Elias replied. Cashin smiled. "Maybe, but I remember more than you do." Suddenly, the vault shook again. A second memory crystal burst open. Another mirror self. Another life. Now the vault was losing control. Too many connections. Too many doors. Opening. Dr. Lyra watched from orbit. Vault is destabilizing. Memory feedback increasing. Her assistant panicked. "We need to shut it down." Lyra narrowed her eyes. "No, we watch. This is the next phase." Back inside, Elias and Cashin circled each other. "You feel it too, don't you?" Cashin asked. "Pieces of us, scattered in the walls." Elias nodded slowly. "They used us, split our mind. Our soul." Cashin reached into the air and pulled a weapon from the vault code itself. A blade made of solid thought. "I want it back," he said. The vault didn't like fighting inside it. But this was different. This was between two versions of itself. It allowed it. Watched it. Studied it. Elias formed his own blade. Glowing with silver light, the two clashed. Soundless. Fast. Precise. The vault's energy flared. Crystals shattered. Voices screamed from the walls. One whispered, "Don't fight him. He is you." Cashin pressed forward. "You forgot everything." "Elias, I chose to, but I didn't," Elias parried. "Then you carry the pain," Cashin growled. "I carry the truth." Their blades locked. A final strike. Light exploded. Then silence. One man dropped to the floor. Still. Breathing. It was Cashin. Elias stood over him, breathing hard. "I don't want to kill you," he said. "Cass, I ain't looked up." "Then what?" "I want to remember." Cashin nodded slowly. "Then take it." He opened his hand and gave Elias a crystal, not a weapon. Memory. Elias touched it. Images flooded in. Children. Running. A family. Training. The first vault tests. Solace's face. Her voice. Her tears. Verin's warning. The first time the vault called out to him, he remembered it all. The vault pulsed. The light being appeared again. "Now you are whole." Elias opened his eyes. "No, now I'm dangerous." Cashin smiled. "Then you're ready." "For what?" Cashin pointed upward. "To meet the fifth." The vault walls parted. A new gate opened. Elias looked through. A figure stood in the distance, wrapped in shadow. Waiting. Outside the cube. Dr. Lyra gasped. "The fifth is moving." Her assistant whispered, "Who are they?" Lyra's voice trembled. "The first one who said no to the vault. The one who burned their own mind to escape it. The only one even Elias fears." Elias stepped toward the gate. His mind now hold. His purpose still unknown, but his voice steady. "Let's finish what we started." The vault opened its fifth gate. Dark energy rolled out like smoke from a cave. But this wasn't smoke. This was time bending, light breaking, reality bleeding. Elias stood at the edge, staring into the unknown. Behind him, Cashin, the copy, who now helped him, stayed silent. "I don't feel fear," Elias said. Cashin nodded. "That's not bravery. That's the vault working. It's stripping emotions. You need to hold on to what's left of you." Elias looked back once more. Then stepped through the fifth door. Silence. Not like space. Not like death. The silence had weight. Like something was watching. Like something had always been watching. The air here, if it could be called air, was thicker, warped. The fifth door didn't lead to another chamber. It led to a place between existence and memory. And something stood in the middle of it. It was not man. Not anymore. It had a shape tall, thin, glowing from within like lava frozen in glass. Its face flickered like a broken screen. When it spoke, it didn't use words. It sent thoughts. "So the last vault keeper has come." Elias frowned. You're the fifth? I was. Before. The vault erased me, but I carved my mind into the walls. I became the glitch they couldn't delete. You know me, Elias. And suddenly, he did. Memories unlocked. Elias had read about. Subject 0 during his early missions. A test subject who touched the vault before any of them. He was the first. The vault gave him too much. Too fast. He tore apart his own memory to escape it. He vanished. Dead. Or lost. But now Elias knew the truth. He had never left. He had become part of the vault itself. You think you are chosen? The fifth asked. You are just a placeholder, a repeat. I saw the true shape of the vault. And it doesn't care about you. Elias stood his ground. Then why speak to me? Because you might still decide to break it. Back in real space, Dr. Lyra tracked energy spikes from the vault. Readings were off the charts. Her team watched in fear. The fifth door is open, and it's rewriting local space. Should we prepare a strike? No, Lyra said. We wait. This is the test. Inside the fifth space, the being walked slowly around Elias. Each step changed the ground. Metal turned to sand, then water, then shattered stars. I gave up everything to learn what the vault really is, it said. It's not a weapon. It's not a prison. It's a seed. For something else. Elias felt a strange chill. What does it want to grow? Us, or versions of us, over and over, until one fits. Suddenly, Elias felt pain. Deep pain. Not physical, emotional. He remembered Solace again, her face. Her last words before the core wiped his memory. He remembered how he let her go. Into darkness. He dropped to his knees. The fifth tilted its head. Good. You feel again. That means you're still human. You can still choose. But then, something else entered the fifth space. The vault shook. Cashin ran through the open door behind Elias. He shouted. The echo engine found us. Lights flickered. Walls trembled. Metal grew like vines from the cracks. A cold voice rang out. Vault. Instability detected. Core subject must be contained. The echo engine had arrived. It wasn't a ship. It was a machine built to drain vault energy. To lock down anything that became too powerful. And it had come for Elias. The fifth looked at Elias. This is the test. Let them control you. Or break the loop. Cashin raised a gun, built from vault code, the echo engine. Spread claws of wire across the chamber. Elias stood between them all. He had to choose. The vault's voice echoed. Inside him now. One of you must fall. One of you must become the vault. Elias closed his eyes. He felt Solace again. He saw Varen. He remembered Earth, Mars, the missions. He even felt Lyra watching from her ship. They were all part of him. The vault had been growing him this whole time, training him not to hold power, but to decide how to end it. Cashin shouted, We have to destroy the engine. The fifth whispered, Or destroy the vault itself. Elias opened his arms, energy built around him. Two paths appeared before him. One, shut the vault forever, end all its copies, end the cycle. The other, become the new core, and protect humanity from beyond time. Both had a cost. Then, Elias made his choice. He turned toward the vault's heart. Placed his hand on the glowing stone and spoke a single word, remember. A pulse of energy exploded outward. The echo engine froze. Its claws turned to dust. The fifth began to flicker, smiling. You chose both. Elias had merged the paths. He wouldn't destroy the vault, and he wouldn't become its prisoner. He would rewrite it, make it human again. Back on the Unex ship, Lyra's screen blinked. New core installed system. Elias V.5 human Alosiskin. Stared. What does that mean? Lyra smiled sadly. It means he passed the test. The vault is no longer just a machine. It's him. Inside, Cashin helped Elias stand. You okay? Elias looked at the walls. They no longer shifted wildly. They looked. Stable. Warm. Like home. The fifth faded away. Good luck, Keeper. They will come again, as they always do. But now, they'll meet you. The vault was quiet, for the first time in 1,000 years. It rested. No storms. No shifting rooms. No screaming voices in the walls. It had a new heart now. And that heart was Elias. He stood at the center of the core. No longer floating between memories. No longer fighting the vault's control. Now, he was the vault, but not like before. He hadn't become a god. He hadn't turned into a machine. He was still human. But now, he understood everything. Cyan stood beside him. You okay? He asked. Elias smiled faintly. I feel whole. Cashin nodded. Then you're ready. For what? To choose who gets in. Outside, across the galaxy, something had changed. Old vault signals stopped. Black sites fell silent. Ships chasing power lost their coordinates. The echo engine disabled, but new ships began to move, not to destroy. The vault. To steal it. Delira sat at her terminal. Looking at a message from Onyx Command. Secure the vault. Bring it home. But she shook her head. They still don't get it, she said quietly. Her assistant frowned. Aren't we supposed to? No, she whispered. Not anymore. Elias walked through the vault halls. They looked different now, not like weapons, labs or test chambers. Now they looked like places people could live, memory gardens, halls, with stories from other species, vault rooms that told truth, not lies. He opened one door. Inside, a child sat on the floor, glowing slightly. He looked up. You're the keeper, right? Elias nodded. The boy held a memory crystal. It showed me my mother, he said. She died before I was born. But I saw her laugh. Elias sat beside him. That's what the vault can do now. Can I stay here? The boy asked. Elias thought. For a moment, yes, but only if you remember it's not real. The boy smiled. That's okay, it felt real. Beyond the vault, new signals echoed through deep space. Unknown ships, pirate clans, lost governments, all heard the same whisper. The core has changed. It's human now. It can be taken. They didn't believe in peace. They only believed in power. Back inside, Cashin stared at a large screen in the new command chamber. Tracking 6 ships, he said. 1 from Earth, 2 from Mars factions. Others, unknown. They're coming here? Fast. Elias closed his eyes. He didn't feel anger. He felt disappointment. Suddenly, a door appeared behind him. He didn't create it. It created itself. Inside stood Verin. Alive. But different. His wires were gone. His scars healed. Didn't think I'd be back, did you? Verin said with a grin. Elias raised an eyebrow. You died. Verin shrugged. I was part of the vault. You fixed it, so it fixed me. Elias smirked. That's fair. Now 3 stood in the core. Elias, the new keeper. Cashin, the mirror who chose loyalty. Verin, the soldier who once betrayed, now reborn. The vault had a crew. And war was coming. In orbit. The first strike ship arrived. It didn't ask questions. It opened fire. But the beam never reached. The surface. It froze mid-air and shattered. Like glass. The crew on board panicked. Did we hit something? No, the pilot said, wide-eyed. Something hit us. From inside our own weapon. Elias stood at the vault's outer gate. He watched the stars. He wasn't angry. He was sad. He reached out with his hand. The entire ship. Powered down. Lights off. Engines off. Life support safe. He left them alive. Just scared. Let them go. Elias whispered. They're not ready. One by one, more ships came. Some came with peace. Others with greed. Some begged to enter. Some tried to break in. Elias spoke to them all, through their minds. The vault is not a prize. It's a place for memories. And memories must be earned. Back on Earth, Lyra recorded a message. She stared straight into the camera. If you're watching this, it means you still think Elias is just another core subject. He's not. He's what we should have been. Varen stood at the vault's gate, watching Cashin teach children how to use memory crystals safely. They're learning fast, he said. Elias joined them. They always did. Then, the vault gave Elias one final surprise. A room appeared. Pure white. One chair, and on that chair sat Solace. Not a copy, not a vision. She looked up with tears in her eyes. You brought me back. Elias nodded. I remembered you hard enough. They didn't speak for a while. Then she asked softly, what now? Elias smiled. Now we build something new. The vault had doors. Thousands. Each one led to a piece of memory, a story, a life. Elias didn't lock them. He guided them. Not all were allowed to enter, but all were seen. In one day, maybe understood. The story spread across the stars. He became the core, but didn't rule. He watched. He remembered. He forgave. He chose. And whenever someone asked who he really was, the vault simply said, he was searched for weapons. And they found something far worse. They found a man who still believed in people. The end.